Chairman, one issue that we've been dealing with in Arizona, obviously, is the increase in frivolous drive-by lawsuits described earlier. These are often very technical infractions of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Most of these infractions are very minor and easily correctable, such as the height of a handicap sign. Often the business owner is unaware that he or she is out of compliance. In other instances, no infraction has occurred at all. The business owner is forced to demonstrate his or her innocence, like when a hotel owner is slapped with a lawsuit for a non-ADA compliant pool lift when the hotel doesn't even have a pool. I actually went around with several business owners, and they showed me what was filed, where the picture was taken from, or how the lawyer simply used Google Maps, as has been described here. As far as I can tell, these type of lawsuits are little more than kind of a shakedown, and they don't do anything really to improve access for the disabled community. Ms. Melito, would you describe how some of these lawsuits are filed in your, and what options do business owners have if they are targeted in this way?
The options for a business owner are pretty limited. Many are not experts. Well, first of all, I should back up and say, if they have in a standalone establishment, they may have, been certified by the city code inspector. They may have had an architect come in and say, hey, you're good to go, everything's fine. And then the next thing they know, they get one of these demand letters saying this, that, or the other isn't right. And, their options are limited because in many instances, they don't have insurance that would cover this. And they call their landlord, and the landlord says, no, did you look at your lease? Your lease says that this is your responsibility. And, I get calls like this on a near weekly basis with the ADA thing, the ADA. And some states like your home state of Arizona has made reforms. California has too. And what we've seen then is there's just the attorneys go to another state then. They go to states that haven't enacted reforms, or they go to federal court then. So there's just a shift then. And that's why, we're looking for, a bill like LARA that would discourage these frivolous, these demand letters and then suits from taking place.
Ms. Gillis, do you see abuse here or not?
Senator, this is just not an area in which I'm very familiar, so I have to pass here. I just don't know that much about the ADA.
Mr. Beisner, in some cases, these business owners tell me that the ADA standards are different from, and sometimes conflict with some state and local standards. Have you found that?
I think that's the case, and I also think that's part of the problem with these approaches, because I think the council who send these letters are basically not looking so much for compliance. They just want a quick payoff of some sort in an effort to try to make the threat of litigation go away.
Yeah, with a hotel owner, I even found that some of these lawyers will call late at night when they know that they'll likely get somebody at 2 a.m. who just started maybe 2 weeks ago, and ask them if there's a wheelchair accessible shower when this employee starting a couple of weeks ago may not even know. And just the fact that employee might not know may be a violation of some type. Is that correct?
That's very much correct. And, I said a few minutes ago, I said, it's not that the business owners whom I deal with are pleading ignorance as defense. They want to make it right. And they want to spend the money to, if need be, correct a bathroom. That's an expensive correction. And that wouldn't you rather have the small hotel spend the $30,000 on fixing the bathroom? Isn't accessibility the goal of this law?
That's what the legislation that I've supported would cure, allow them specified time to actually cure and actually make access better. I hope that we can move forward with something like that. Mr. Beisner, with regard to asbestos, you mentioned to Senator Tillis that true first-time claimants are not able to get payments they deserve from trusts because trusts are often inundated with fraudulent or duplicative claims. Can you talk a little more about that?
Well, I think the issue there is really the amount of money that they have available. And if you have people who are double dipping with claims, you're right, they're both in line ahead of somebody who hasn't been paid and perhaps deserves compensation. But there's also a risk, because those funds are limited, that someone who is deserving of compensation is going to get less because somebody got twice or three times as much as what they should have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Flake.